Former Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola is calling for a renewed focus on provision of skills for self-reliance as a way to boost the country's labor force. He was speaking at the inauguration of a skill acquisition center built in Elisha to train young Nigerians in different vocational skills. Rafiu Hamid reports.
The rate of unemployment in Nigeria remains a source of concern. It stood at 5.3% in the first quarter of 2024, representing a third consecutive increase since the second quarter of 2023. One of the identified solutions to this trend is skills acquisition, and this is the reason this center was built in order to train people and boost economic growth. Former Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola highlights the critical need to empower youth with practical skills that will enable them to thrive in a rapidly evolving economy, thereby reducing unemployment and ensuring long-term economic stability.
One of the ways people are going to survive this present hardship and challenges is for them to renew their skills and be more productive than ever. That's the only way we can survive the fact. But we must go further, working together to invest in our people and unlock their potential and potentials of every Nigerian.
The donor of the center, Banjo Atayero, said aside from skills acquisition, the center will also provide startup grants for trainees.
Upon acquiring their vocational skills at the Foundation Center, we shall further support the graduates with basic tools of their chosen vocation and even provide their initial 1-year shop rent to place them on a better footing to stabilize so that they can effectively complete their quota to society.
It is one of the centers built by individuals to complement government's efforts at bridging the gap of unemployment through vocational training. Elsewhere, 500 persons are being trained by Smedan on entrepreneurship, its challenges and survival strategies in this harsh economy. This training is taking place in different centers in Ifejesha Senatorial District.
If you know how to fish, you know how to rear your own fish, then you have ample opportunity to eat and give to others. It is skill acquisition, whereby they can be self-sufficient.
Knowledge they've acquired is not only for them, it's for them and for people they can impart same on. So this will go home, practice what they've learned.
Beneficiaries are encouraged to leverage on technology to propel their businesses. Rafiu Hamid, TVC News, Elisha, Osun State.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's turn attention now to the media. Nigerian journalists have been advised to be more dedicated to the profession and leverage the power of digital journalism to remain relevant. This admonition was given at a lecture organized by the League of Veteran Journalists in Lagos to honor Jola Ogunlusi at 90. Senior reporter Lawakon reports.
This is Pa Jola Ogunlusi, a former National Secretary of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ. As he enters the hall for this lecture in his honor, veteran and young journalists rise to receive him. This lecture, organized by the League of Veteran Journalists in Lagos, is to dissect the topic, Pa Jola Ogunlusi, Life of a Journalist After Retirement.
In Nigeria today, social media has become a very powerful source of digital news. It cannot be ignored. An active journalist must align to this new technology.
It is not everybody who will be in perfect health after the age of 60 or 70. We should know that journalists need life insurance. Journalists should encourage themselves to have to do things for the rainy day.
Iconic leader.
The former National Secretary of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, who has spent 9 decades on earth and still practicing journalism, was quick to advise young media practitioners to be more dedicated to the profession.
It is not a pleasure job to be a journalist, but it has a reward. If you stay there and you make it a profession that you love, you will gain by it.
You have all these advantages of exposure, source of information, but you lack the dedication that we had at that time. We were dedicated. We believe in the profession. We work harder than you.
The former governor of Ogun State and chairman of the occasion, Segun Oshoba, describes Pa Jola Ogunlusi as a dogged fighter and a unifying factor during the early days of the Nigeria Union of Journalists.
He helped to stabilize the profession in his time when the Nigeria Union of Journalists were in factions.
He keeps on fighting. The passion that he had, when he started out as a teacher in 1955, he still has that passion till date.
One takeaway from this gathering of veteran journalists is that despite age, journalists to leverage the power of digital journalism to remain relevant and to contribute towards eradicating the excesses of fake news purveyors in the society. Ola Awakon, TVC News, Lagos.
And to Adamawa State, where a non-governmental organization has presented 36 desktop computers and modems to the Chief Judge of the state, Justice Hafsat Abdul Rahman. The gesture is aimed at driving electronic reforms for the courts and enhancing legal efficiency. Senior reporter Wolabi Adenusi filed in this report, and then we'll return with business updates.
With this gesture of the Adamawa State, action on business enabling reform, documentation of court proceedings, and processes is expected to be seamless.
To the Adamawa State Judiciary and 9 internet modems.
Taken at the presentation of the item to the Chief Judge of the state, Abubakar Song believes that the resources will support the court going forward.
Is an opportunity to encourage businesses in the state. Where such courts are operational, entrepreneurs feel that they are safe because it has about 5 advantages. 1, cases are going to be disposed within 60 days. Then there is no requirement for legal representation. There is a form, small claim court 3, which a complainant can fill and submit it to those courts, and his case is going to be entertained and is going to be even in the local languages.
Justice Hafsat Abdul Rahman, in her response, thanked the organizations for their support and pledges to utilize the system to accelerate reforms and ensure swift justice delivery.
We are going to see a lot of returns and a lot of progress in the judicial aspect system in our state. So once more, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I assure you, we're going to use this laptop and for the purpose it's intended to be used.
The Special Advisor to Governor Fintiri on ICT, e-governance and policy, says the judiciary electronic reform aligns with Governor Umar Fintiri's developmental policies.
People who are interested in engaging with the court system here can visit that website and be able to engage with the ministry and even submit filing of such cases. So on the other hand, the magistrates who have been trained are also now empowered to establish that small courts so that they can be able to utilize these resources and link up and utilize the digital initiative of His Excellency.
The Adamawa State Action on Business Enabling Reforms recently trained magistrates on the domestication of the small claim courts aimed at fostering business-friendly reforms and to enhance efficiency and financial stability for business owners.